In this video we will show you form creation using Lycia VS Code extension. We have prepared an example form in Lycia Studio, with grid panel as the root container and other grid panels as nested containers. To create such a form, go to your VS Code instance with LVSCE enabled, and create FM2 form file. Right-click it and open it in the form builder. Pick a grid panel from the list of containers and pull it into the form in the editor view. Then, unfold the grid panel in the form structure view. Find rows and add 2 more rows to the form. Pick new grid panel from the palette. Drag and drop it into the upper row of the root container. Pick a group box and pull it into the middle row. Place a new grid panel in the lower row. Next, add new grid panel to the group box. In our example from the studio, the upper grid panel has 2 columns with labels nested in them. In VS Code, use the form structure view to add another column. Pick a label widget to place it to the upper grid panel. Then drag another label into it. Select the entire grid panel to go back to the main form structure. Now you can see the full layout of this grid panel in the form structure view. Unfold its columns, select the first column and move to the Properties view. Find a property called Grid Length Value and set a value of 100%. Therefore, the labels will be placed stretched to the sides of the program's window. Next, select the grid panel in Form Structure and unfold the Layout drop-down menu. In Vertical Alignment property, select the Top option. In Horizontal Alignment, pick Default. Now go to Lower Grid Panel. In Form Structure view, unfold it to find Rows element. Add 1 more row. Pull 2 labels into both rows. Select Grid Panel's column and edit its preferences, set grid length value to 100%. Then, select the grid panel. In its properties, select Top for its vertical alignment and Default for horizontal alignment. Now let's fill a middle grid panel. The example form's grid panel has labels and text fields, located within 8 columns. Let's create those in VS Code. To do that, unfold the group box that contains middle grid panel in the form structure view, then unfold the grid panel, and next, its columns. Add another 7 columns to the existing one. After that, unfold rows setting and add 9 rows. Select the 10th row and go to the Properties view, set grid min length to 10 rem. Go back to Columns in the Structure view, select the column number 1 and set its grid min length to 8 rem. For column number 2, set grid min length to 4 rem. For column number 5, set grid length value to 5 rem. For column number 6, set grid length value to 8 rem. For column number 7, set grid length value to 4 rem. Next, add labels to the middle grid panel's columns 1 and 2 in 8 rows. Add an extra label to the third column. That label will serve as the primary key sign. The fourth column should have text fields. Add them to your form in 8 rows. Fill 2 more columns with labels in 9 rows. Then, in the last column, fill first 4 rows with text fields. For row number 6, pick Calendar widget. For the 5th row, pick a spinner widget and place it into the cell. For row number 7, pull a checkbox into your form. Add a text field for row number 8. Add new text area to the cell located in the 6th column and 10th row. To edit its location, move to the Properties view and pick the Grid Item Location option. Set the grid width to 3. Now the text area will take 3 columns. Select the middle grid panel in the form structure, set its vertical alignment property to top, and horizontal alignment to default. Now, if you switch to the full screen view and resize VS Code window, you will see your form is dynamic and is adjusting to the window size changes. Switch back to the windowed view of your form. Select a root grid panel. Move to the Properties view, and set vertical alignment to top. Set horizontal alignment to left. Select the group box that contains the middle grid panel and go to its properties. Set horizontal alignment to default, and vertical alignment to default. In the middle grid panel, select the label in the 6th column. Go to the properties and set its horizontal alignment to stretch. Apply the same property to the label in column 7 of the same row. Go to the 2nd row, locate columns 6 and 7. Select the labels in them, and set horizontal alignment to stretch for both labels. The form is ready.